Right, it's now time to plant out the tomato plants into these black plastic tubs. The variety I'm planting out is Elsa Craig. I only need 6 because that's the space that I've got in the greenhouse, and to be perfectly honest with you, once they all start producing tomatoes, 6 tomato plants is more than enough for what we need. So there's no point in growing more and then throwing them away. So I'm just going to plant out 6. Now these have a really nice root system. They're not sort of overly pot bound. I'm going to plant them quite low, so the soil will actually come up to round about there, which will give plenty of room for the roots to develop, and also it'll give it a little bit of stability as well. And all those little hairs down there will turn into roots anyway. There we go. So that's the first one planted. It's probably about 3 inches below the top of the pot. I always like to leave a few inches above the pot, just in case I need to have to top it up with a little bit more compost a little bit later on. So 1 down, 5 to go. So there we have 6 Elsa Craig tomato plants all ready for the greenhouse. I've just got to do a little bit of work in the greenhouse. I've got to move 1 or 2 plants out of the way just to make space, and then I need to put a couple of canes across the greenhouse just to support the canes that I'm going to put into these into the pots. So a cane into each individual one, and then fasten to a couple of canes going across the length of the greenhouse. So 6 tomato plants all in the greenhouse, all in their pots with stakes and tied up, and there's a couple of cucumbers in the middle there as well, just to keep them company. Hello, welcome along to another video. I'm just taking out a couple of rose stems which are at my head height. And I do that on a regular basis because it can get a little bit dangerous once you get one of these spiky old things that wrapped around your face. Right, in today's video then I shall be doing some work with my tomatoes. I've planted them out into the greenhouse, and I just need to now take out some of the little side shoots that are beginning to form. And then if you watch my video from last week, I need to show you what the next stage is, or the next stage that I do when I've chopped off banana pups from the parent plant. So that's coming up a little bit later in the video. So if you're interested in what I do next once I've taken the banana pups apart, stay tuned in, and I'll take you through my next stages of that journey. Right, so I've now taken out all the little side shoots. Now they're the shoots that come between the leaves, and they put out little side shoots. The plant is wanting to put these shoots out, and my my view is that I think that takes away from the main stem, and it takes away energy from that main stem. Now you will see some videos where people let them grow all over the place, but I don't particularly like doing that. Now there are some varieties of tomato that do that. I mean, I planted a few years ago, I planted some tumbling Tom. Now that sort of plant is designed to put out lots and lots of shoots, be in a pot or a hanging basket, and to actually tumble over a little bit like a plant that you would normally put into a hanging basket. But with these ones, these are Elsa Craig, and I have always taken out the side shoots. What I'm going to do with these tomatoes is let them grow till they're about up here, which is probably, I don't know, 5-6 feet, just below 2 meters. And what I'm looking for is at least 4, maybe 5 or 6 trusses. Now, for those familiar not with tomato speak, a truss is a little bunch where the tomatoes come out. So I'm looking for at least 4, maybe 5, and if I'm lucky 6 bunches of tomatoes on each of these plants. And when I get to that, I then take the top out. We're not in a commercial setting here. These are just tomatoes that we eat at home. So I'm not looking to sort of send these up for 3, 4, 5 meters in a huge big greenhouse and get the maximum sort of yield out of them. All I'm after is between 4 and 5 trusses of tomatoes up this cane, and then I will be more than happy. Right, so here we are then back at the table. Now, if you watched my last video where I chopped up some old banana plants and rescued the little pups, I did say in that video that there's 1 or 2 stages which I always do, which is next. Once you've chopped off the pup from the parent plant and then potted it on, it's important that first of all we give it a good water. I mean, that seems perfectly reasonable and obvious thing to do, so plenty of water. Now, it's been about a week, 10 days since I detached these small bananas from the parent plant, and I've been giving them plenty of water on a regular basis. Also, it's been raining. It was raining last night, so they would have got a little bit of rain. If you remember, I detached 6 pups, and these 2 here in these 2 large pots, these are the last 2 that I detached, and as you can see, they're both doing extremely well. They're both in the stages of putting out new leaves coming from the center. 1 or 2 of the leaves that they already had are beginning to sort of suffer a little bit, so I'll wait for those 2 to sort of basically die back, and then I'll cut them off and tidy the plant up. These 2 here were slightly smaller ones. Right in the center, they're beginning to put out new leaves, so they're doing really well. Now these 2 over here, this one, now I'm a bit surprised about this one because it's a fairly strong plant, and I would have thought it might have done a little bit better than it has. It looks as though it's just suffering a little bit, but that is also popping out a new leaf right from the center. And this one here, which is probably the smallest one of the 6, now that one is really quite suffering, that one. It's had plenty of water, but I think it may have just begun to rot off, so I may lose that one. So once we've detached it from the parent plant, we've potted it into some good quality compost, we've given it a good water. We've kept an eye on it for the last sort of week or so, and we've given it plenty of water so that those roots can establish. Now the next thing that I always do, and then this is something I do regularly, about once every 2 weeks going forward, is to feed them. Now because it's a big leafy plant, they need plenty of nitrogen, so a nitrogen feed is the sort of thing that I usually go for. Now, up to now, I've perhaps used this well-known brand of tomato feed. I've also used Miracle Grow Pour and Feed and Miracle Grow All-Purpose Granules. Now what I tended to do recently is to use these for flowering plants, these obviously for my tomatoes. So I've now moved on to a high nitrogen feed and fertiliser. It says recommended dilution rate of 5 millilitres per litre of water, and I've got a watering can here which has got 6 litres of water, so I've poured in 30 millilitres of high nitrogen feed. I've given it a mix up, so I'll now start to give it a nice feed, and then I will continue to do that for every 2 weeks going forward. I've also started to give it to the bananas and the cannas, and they're really doing quite well. Well, I think that's probably it then for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the content. As I said in the last video, I absolutely love bananas and cannas. Those with the big leafy leaves. I'm not too bothered if they don't put flowers out, but flowers are a bonus, but I just love the big leaves. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you'd like to know when the next video comes out, hit that notification bell, and then we'll let you know. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.